by the time you leave today, you guys should clearly understand stage 1 of the research process, okay? So you should leave here feeling really good about what you're supposed to do as far as defining your task and coming up with questions for your research paper, okay? Which, again, Mr. Erickson and I have done that for you in this third column of that IKL chart, okay? That was one of the hardest parts of the whole process, actually. So we've done that for you. Anna, you weren't here, so this is all new for you, okay? So by the time you leave today, you may not clearly understand it, but you'll have a good understanding of it. Hopefully by Monday you clearly understand it, okay? So there's the 3 columns on the IKL chart. Review, as a review, you're completing the first column, you're changing what I had, visual learner to whatever learner you are going to do your research on, or learners, I should say, or learning styles. Column 2, you're leaving what I have there, just as an example, but you're adding what you know about your research that you have done thus far on your learning style or styles. Yes?
So is that the only thing that's due tomorrow?
Yes, good question. This right here, I was just getting to that. This is what you write in your planners as far as homework, because it is homework if you do not have it completed. This is due tomorrow. Okay, third column of this, going back to this column thing here. Third column, don't change it. Those are the questions you are going to research. Those are the ones that you're going to focus on for this whole research paper, okay? And if you come across anything else that you want to include into your research paper, that's fine. You'll just, think of it as adding another question to that third column here. So some of you will want to do that. Some of you will find more information that you want to include in your paper that addresses maybe something different than what Mr. Erickson and I came up with. Okay, so I'm going to ask this question, and you don't have to answer it right now, but if you can't answer yes, then you need to come and get some clarification from Mr. Erickson or I. My question is, do you clearly understand step 1, which is essentially this IKL chart? Okay, like I said, if you don't want, you don't have to say no in front of the whole class if you don't want to. Come get clarification from Mr. Erickson or I if you do not understand it. Question?
So in the second column, do you put everything you find out about that learning style, or just a few things?
Yeah, that's your place to put what you know at this point, your research about that learning style or those learning styles. If you're doing, some people are doing 2 because you're kind of tied for a couple different ones. You put as much as you can, because you're going to use this document to go into the next stage, and then the next stage, and the next stage. You're always going to refer back to this. Okay, this is what I knew at this point before I started my research, and I'm probably going to include some of this information in my paper that I already know. But these questions right here, this is what you probably don't know yet, and this is what you are going to be researching. So your end result is going to be a combination of this and this. Okay? Good question.
So that means that you do put everything you know in that column right now, not just I know 1 or 2 things and I'm going to fill out that column just to get it done and turned in. It's everything that you know.
Any other questions? Okay, so that was step 1. How many of you are completely done with step 1, are done with this IKL chart? Okay, so at this point we have 1. As we get going this class period, we might have more people. Mr. Erickson's going to go through this checklist, make sure that everyone has everything done on this checklist. Okay, that's posted on Edmodo. If you have everything completed on that checklist, and the bottom one is the IKL chart, okay, the last thing on there, then I'm going to work with you individually on stage 2, because you're ready, or step 2. You're ready for step 2. So right now, Maria, if you're ready, you and I will start working on that, okay? If I find out that more people are ready, we'll just do a whole class, and I'll instruct all of you at the same time. Otherwise, we'll just do individually for now. And then Monday, we'll do whole class, step 2. Okay? Hannah, we'll need to work with you just a little bit individually on your step 1, just get you going on it, okay? All right, Mr. Erickson.
so it's important that this is done in the right order. So if they were to look at this and, even if they're on vacation, they have an hour to work on this, they could go through this. And I'm trying to make it as explicit or clear as possible. And I even went in here and changed some things to hopefully make it more clear to you. So you could do it even if we weren't there by you. All right? Colin Bruce just sat there and he went through it. And I told him, I said, give me feedback. Give me some direction on, okay, you can make this a little more clear by saying this. All right? So if you have feedback as we're going on how to make it more clear or easier for you to understand, please help me out and let me know, and I'll change it any way we need to. So number one is create your collection. If you two don't know how to do that, ask somebody that's right around you because they already have it in. And remember, I put this little note here. Once you've made your collection, once you drag a document into that collection, it's automatically shared with us. You don't have to share each individual document. So every time you make a new research document, it's going to say, drag it into your research paper, your name, collection. Once you do that, we have it so that we can check to see how you're doing it. Okay? Number two, set up a Delicious account. Raise your hand if you don't have a Delicious account. We're all good. All right. 3, your learning styles test. 2 of them are online using Edmodo. 1's the paper test. Raise your hand if you haven't done the paper test. That was from me. Did you not have it? Okay, so we're good there? Great. Then, I have it, A, B, C, D. Create the document, title it Learning Styles Results. If I was to look in your collection, I should see a document titled Learning Styles Results, your name. Copy those results to the Google Doc, summarize it, drag it into your collection. Most of you have that done. All right, I'll scroll up. Make a copy of the research project Big 6 doc. Now here's what Colin did. He read that and he started to go do it right away, and I said, hang on a second, read all of those directions under there before you go start doing things, because I put little notes under here that help you. There are actually 2 Big 6 docs on your Edmodo. One's an assessment doc and one's your research doc. I say right here, this is the document that has all the steps for your research paper on it. Make sure you copy the one that's below and not the one above. Okay? Then it says right here, open the document, go to File, make a copy, title it, drag it to your research paper collection. Okay? Then 5, your IKL chart. What Mrs. Erickson was talking about here. Open it, go to File, make a copy. Here's something we've changed. Don't title it IKL chart, your name. Title it Research Process Assignments, your name. So if you need to go back, all you need to do is change IKL chart to Research Process Assignments. You don't have to make a new document. All you have to do, it takes you 5 seconds, go to that, click on IKL chart, change it to this. And then if you haven't already, drag it to your collection. Fill out the IKL chart, which Mrs. Erickson explained right here, columns 1 and 2. Okay? When you're done with that, let us know. We'll get you moved on to the next step in the process. Questions? Again, give me some feedback on directions. If I can make them more clear, I want to do that. If we don't have any questions, go ahead and get to work. You have about 25 minutes.